You're saying, Your Honor, you're saying this is a criminal matter?
Yes.
Okay, well then we need the corpus delicti. You have the identification of the person, which is me, but you don't have a person saying that they were hurt or damaged, or the crime that's saying what I did to hurt or damage the person. So how do you have a crime?
You went to law school?
No, Your Honor, I have not.
You're in a whole different ball game, and you need to come on to this ball game here.
All right, guys, buckle up, because today's court case is straight fire. We've got Judge Perkins, a no-nonsense judicial bulldozer, and a defendant who rolled out of bed this morning convinced he's above the law and is also claiming to be a sovereign citizen. Because apparently, when the real laws don't work for you, you just make up your own. Judge Perkins isn't buying a single word of it and proceeds to school this guy like it's the season finale of Courtroom 101. Spoiler alert, watching a few YouTube videos does not make you a lawyer, but try telling him that. So, what would you do if you were the judge here? Drop it in the comments. Now let's roll the tape and watch Judge Perkins absolutely dismantle this sovereign citizen fantasy, piece by piece.
I'm going to give you a $0 bond. Now recall the warrant. What is your motion, sir?
I have a motion to strike and dismiss.
What are the bases?
Basis of federal rules of civil procedure. Number one, there's no claim. There's no ratification of the claim.
There is a claim. There is a. You want me to read out I waived the reading of the information. You want me to read the allegations that have been made into the record? Do you need me to do that?
No, I don't. No, I don't, Your Honor.
I deny your motion on that basis. What else do you have to say?
What else? You deny my motion because of what, Your Honor?
Yes.
There is no real.
I denied your motion because there is and this is criminal procedure, not civil procedure. But I denied your motion because there is an allegation here.
You're saying, Your Honor, you're saying this is a criminal matter?
Yes.
Okay, well then we need the corpus delicti. And so that's what I'm asking for. If there was a criminal matter, basically what you're telling me is that something has happened, someone has either been damaged or someone has been or either someone has been damaged or something has been come up missing. And if that's the case, then that means that there is a crime. And if there's a crime, then there is the what do you have that's saying that I did the crime? What you're saying that I created this crime that hurt this person, and if I hurt this person and I created the crime, then a third thing that you have to have is the identification of the person. You have the identification of the person, which is me, but you don't have a person saying that they were hurt or damaged, or the crime that's saying what I did to hurt or damage the person. So how do you have a crime?
Okay. You went to law school?
No, Your Honor, I have not.
And where did you get that? Where did you get that from? Where did you learn all that?
I've been studying for quite some time, trying to understand what's going on. I have a different perspective as to what's being said that happened. I'm understanding more necessary for a crime to go for them to bring a crime forward. I'm understanding that a bit more.
And where did you get that understanding?
I've done some Cornell law studies. I've also sat down with a couple of friends who have had some issues. I picked up wherever I could, just started to study the law, just started to go back through Cornell law, started to figure out what was going on and to understand the nature of how what a crime is and everything else. So just a course of me searching it out.
And you're citing Cornell law for all of that you just said to the court?
No, what I did, Your Honor, was I realized that one of the biggest portions that you have to have is you have to have the corpus delicti.
I've got to say, I'm loving Judge Perkins' vibe here. His calm, cool, and completely unfazed, like he's swatting away a fly instead of dealing with a full-blown sovereign citizen meltdown. Meanwhile, the defendant is over there citing random laws he clearly Googled at 3 a.m., probably straight off Cornell Law's website, like he's about to blow the judge's mind. Spoiler, it's not working. This guy genuinely believes he's outsmarting the system, but Perkins isn't buying a single syllable. It's like watching someone argue with a master chef about a recipe when they can't even boil water. Pure, second-hand cringe, and the confidence. Off the charts. He's actually trying to lecture a judge with decades of experience as if he knows better. I swear, with some of these sovereign citizens, you start wondering if it's less about legal strategy and more about, well, an entirely different problem. But hey, what do you guys think? Is this peak delusion or just performance art?
And that is in when you're being charged criminally.
What is a corpus delicti?
What do you mean, what is the corpus delicti?
What is your understanding of what corpus delicti is?
That is the corpus delicti is the law that's saying that there is a crime that's being committed. So in order to do that, you have to show the corpus delicti, which is you saying this is what happened. This is how this person was damaged. There is no
the
person.
Officer on this date, on these dates, because I got a lot of them, said that
I object. I object. The officer works.
Don't interrupt me.
I apologize, Your Honor. I apologize, Your Honor. My apologies.
The officer says that you drove a vehicle that wasn't registered and wasn't titled, or titled and or untitled, that you drove without a valid driver's license, that you drove without valid insurance. Again, on a different occasion, they allege that you drove without a valid driver's license and no insurance. And then on a different occasion, they allege that you drove without unregistered or untitled, or both, and drove without a valid driver's license, repeat offender, that you failed to have a trailer plate, and that you failed to secure a load on your vehicle. And on another occasion, on the same occasion that you failed to secure, that they allege you failed to secure the load, failed to have a trailer plate on your vehicle, that you didn't provide a valid driver's license. So those are the crimes. And in the state of Michigan, whether you agree or not, they are crimes. So based on your motion and all of that stuff you talk about, corpus delicti and things like that, the court denies the motion, okay? Based on those reasons I just said. Now, how do you want to move forward? Because wait a minute, I'm not finished.
My apologies, Your Honor.
How do you want to move forward? Because in my experience, someone that comes into court, as you do, you do not want to take an offer. You do not believe that you need to have plates or registration or insurance, and you just disregard all of that portion of the law. And either you are going to move forward by having a trial, or you're going to take a deal. What do you want to do, sir?
Your Honor, first I want to put my objection on the record. And at that point,
whatever your objection is noted. What do you want to do, sir? Do you want a trial? You have two options: trial, or you want to take a deal.
Your Honor, I request a jury trial.
A jury trial.
A jury trial, yes, Your Honor.
Very good.
This guy really wants a jury trial for traffic violations. Like, bro actually thinks a bunch of random strangers are going to sit there and go, yeah, running 3 stop signs and driving without a license is totally fine, let him go. Jury trials are for serious charges, felonies, big lawsuits, not for some wannabe legal genius who can't obey basic traffic laws. He's literally manufacturing drama like it's going to unlock some secret get-out-of-jail-free card. Spoiler, it won't. This is peak sovereign citizen energy. Walking into court thinking you know more than the judge when you can't even follow the speed limit.
You know what I want to ask, Mr. Gray, and you can choose to answer it or not.
Yes, Your Honor.
But what I surmise and what I've heard, and I don't know if you're alleging the same thing, is that and you basically did allege the same thing, that no crime has been committed because no person has been the people of the state of Michigan are in danger of you driving without the proper documentation or anything like that. But I don't, and I'm gonna surmise, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, that you're gonna say that there's no jurisdiction to be able to pull you over because no one has been injured. Is that correct?
I think that what I'm saying is that the city of Detroit had an officer pull me over to say that you're not following these rules. And my stance is, okay, well then that's fine. If we're following rules, then therefore let me make sure that you as well as are following the rules, because if I don't do that, then freedoms are lost. So that is that is the way that I proceed to say, okay, well then if we're playing cards and we play and show me yours, if this is your hand, then this is mine, and let's proceed accordingly to the law. That's it. That's my only standing is, if someone doesn't stand up every once in a while and define the edges, then they all disintegrate and people lose rights.
And you know something? With that being said, I would agree with you 1,000%. That's why I pride myself, and I hope I'm doing a good job for the citizens that come in here, and the police for that matter, and the prosecution, that I am calling the balls and strikes right. And if something doesn't proceed as it should, then I will dismiss the case one way or the other. But in my short time on this bench, and in my time in practicing law as a defense attorney, I get this, they can't pull me over. I've heard the corpus delicti, first time the civil procedure has been thrown at me. But from the way I see it, is that you just don't feel that the police have a jurisdiction to pull you over for these issues. Is that correct?
Do I have again, Your Honor, what I feel is that if we are following rules.
I don't mean to cut this defendant off, but I have to jump in because what the judge just said was dead on. This man actually thinks the cop had no jurisdiction to pull him over, like public roads are just some kind of lawless playground. News flash, buddy, that's not how it works. Everyone has to follow the rules, especially on public roads. It's the common sense for me. How do you not get that? Instead of just admitting he messed up, he's digging himself deeper, turning this whole thing into a cringe fest. Sovereign citizens always think they're kings of the world, but honestly, I can't tell if this is confidence or just straight up delusion.
I have to follow the rules, and every person out there, all of these officers, everybody else has to follow the rules. So if it comes down to it,
what I'm gonna hope that you do by the time you come back on the trial date jury trial date is going to be March the 18th, 2025.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're probably gonna have an audience because everybody follows me on these cases all the time.
I understand.
All right, and I don't know if that's what you want, but we're gonna do that.
It's not that.
March the 18th, 2025. We're gonna have a final pre-trial date. Final pre-trial. This is to you, Mr. Bowman, especially the day before, on February 17th, 2025 at 8:30. So Mr. Gray and Mr. Bowman, I need you to have all your officers appear on that date. Who's ever going to state these allegations, so that we know that we're not just summoning the people of the city of Detroit to a jury that's not actually going to go. So all parties must appear, and that can be via Zoom. And the trial is going to be in person. All right? All parties must appear on final pre-trial date and obviously on the trial date. And what I would it for you to do is you need to figure out the right game, because it doesn't sound like you're playing the right game.
I understand, Your Honor. I appreciate, first and foremost, let me say, I appreciate the dialogue. I appreciate you sitting here and engaging with me at this level. So I recognize what you're saying, and so yeah, I guess it's to the table we go. So
yeah, but get your game in order, because I'm just giving you a little heads up. If you come in with that game on the jury trial date, then more than likely you'll lose, unless you can find one of those jurors or a couple of those jurors, or even all of them, to have some sympathy for you, sir. I don't know.
I got a whole basis for understanding, and so yeah, if you know it
well,
it
that
is
basis
what it
that
is.
you outlined shortly today is not.
What was flawed in my what was flawed, Your Honor? What is
we
flawed
already
in
discussed it. We already discussed it. The federal rules of civil procedure that you brought up as a motion to dismiss, not the right basis. The corpus delicti, they do have a corpus delicti. They do have a crime that they say has been committed. And if you read the MCL, the Michigan court rules, and the Michigan statutes, then you'll see those crimes outlined there. They have them on the tickets. They got the statute numbers that are on the tickets. So that's not the right basis. So you're in a whole different ball game, and you need to come on to this ball game here.
Okay.
What do you guys honestly think is going to happen at this guy's jury trial in March 2025? There is no way they're buying into this sovereign citizen fantasy. The laws he's quoting have zero connection to his case, and the I don't have to follow traffic laws routine? Yeah, that's been debunked about 1,000 times. Traffic laws are state laws. If you drive on public roads, you follow them. Period. No exceptions. The funniest part? He's so confidently wrong, like he's some legal mastermind, when it's obvious he hasn't cracked open a law book in his life. Judge Perkins deserves a medal for staying calm through that ramble, because if it were me, I'd have lost it halfway in. This guy could have just taken the ticket, paid the fine, and moved on with his life. Instead, he's marching straight into a jury trial with irrelevant arguments, a non-existent defense, and a 100% chance of embarrassing himself. A jury of regular people isn't going to side with him over a cop who was just doing his job. Unless he gets a real lawyer, and fast, he's going to get crushed in court. But hey, maybe he'll shock us all. I'm not holding my